Welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. This podcast was designed with you in mind. If you're ready to erase the norm and embrace the truth, come pull up a chair, grab a journal, and tell a friend that your favorite Jersey girl is back with another episode. So let's get into it.
Hey y'all. So today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Mr. Terry Little. And he is the creator of his very own podcast called The Knucklehead Chronicles. Now, I have known Terry for, I want to say a decade, but he'll probably tell you a little bit better than I will. But during that time that I've known him, we've always had amazing conversations. So it was only natural that he would become this amazing podcaster. And we also share similarities, both being divorcees. So it was only right that I had him join me today for this conversation. So you guys, after the interlude, I will bring Mr. Terry Little to the stage. Hey, T.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey now. Hey, what's going on? Wait. That's what I wanted.
Making sound effects. I love it.
I had to do the clap. Because you introduced me. I had to bring the clap.
See, I told y'all he was a professional. I told y'all. How are you, friend?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
Good. Life is good. Life is turning around.
Eventually, yeah, it'll get there.
So what I do is I usually ask all my guests, to tell the people who they are. So tell the people, who is Terry Little?
Yeah, okay. Well, my social media name, the podcast name, is The Guru, because people used to call me that because I had a plethora of knowledge about almost nothing, but everything. But my name is Terry. I am 49 years old. I am from North Carolina. I have two grown daughters and a 7-year-old son who I absolutely adore. Yeah. As Shira has alluded to earlier, I am newly divorced. I'm more minty fresh divorced since I got my divorce decree last week. So it's just like, what I'm saying? Right. But it is what it, yeah. Yeah, but life is good. Work for the DLC here in Missouri. And no, I've never sprayed anybody. No, I've seen some stuff. I've seen some fights.
I can imagine the stories you got.
Ooh, we'll get into that's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode. Yeah.
So how has your healing journey been? Like, before divorce, obviously your separation. How has your journey been? Because June is the month of men's health. And I really wanted to tap into the men because you guys are always taught to be so strong. But y'all go through stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
And just in general, with you being a man, 1, you being a Black man, 2, you working in the DOC, 3, and now, whole separation and divorce. So How are you? How is your healing journey going?
That's a good question. My healing journey, it went up and down for a minute, right? It's kind of hard to explain because when everything first went down, life went dark. The lights went out for me. When she first said, "Hey, I want a divorce," whatever, that was tough. So when I moved in with my current roommate, for the first couple months, it was really dark. And then one morning I woke up and I said, "You know what? I can't do this anymore." And so I started thinking a little bit differently. Now, some would say probably putting up a facade so it wouldn't sting so much.
Right.
So I did that for a couple months, and that seemed to help my psyche a little bit. The entire time, I'm kind of going through the positive mindset and doing things the right, thinking the right things, right? We were still going through in the background, the court proceedings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had a couple of court hearings that went left quickly. Oh boy, let me tell you, that's another episode too. But yeah, so it was the period of down, then up, and now I think I'm kind of on the way back down again, and I'm trying not to because I have a son to look after. I got my daughters are grown; they grown though, you know what I'm saying. But I got grandkids,
Right.
So it's been crazy. It really had emotionally crazy, like trying to figure it all out and make sense. But my journey is a day by day thing. One thing I can't do is I can't go from A to Z.
Right.
And that's the mistake a lot of people make. I know I made it 1,000 times. You can't go from A to Z. You need to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You need to go down the whole thing and do it and go through all the steps, because you can't. There's no skipping in this journey. There's no skipping any steps. In order to get to true healing, you have to do every step. You can't skip it.
Sometimes it's from A to A minus because B might be a stretch. Like,
you still pushing it. Yeah, you get that.
Right, exactly. Not day by day, but minute by minute sometimes.
Yeah.
I definitely get it. Have you found any like unexpected silver linings or positive outcomes from the situation? Things you found out about yourself that you didn't know, maybe, like in regards to like your growth or your resilience?
This is what I found. No, I'm gonna answer your first question first. Was there any silver linings? Yes, there were. The silver lining was I was better than what I had.
Oh.
I deserve more than what I had from the jump street. But, I love how I love, and I did what I did, and I realized that, man, I did not deserve any of this.
Right.
At the end of it, to be ridiculed, downtrodden, ridiculed, talked about, all of that. I learned that whoever she has moved on with, if I ever see her next boyfriend or whatever, I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna shake his hand. No drama.
Okay, I'm proud of you.
I'm gonna go up to him and shake his hand and say, "Good luck, bro," and walk away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I deserve better. That was a silver lining I got out of it. I deserve better, and I loved blindly. I was blind, and I did it. I did what I had to do because I'm a man. I was supposed to do what I did, So, yeah.
Well, another silver lining is, at the end of the day, you did your part. You did everything that you needed to do. So, in that regard, I'm not going to get churchy, but God is pleased with you in regards to
this is over.
Which you did.
We're going to be up here shouting and speaking in tongues in a minute by the time it's over.
But no, you did. You were a good husband. You're a good man. You had bonus kids. You good man. Certain parts. But you had bonus kids, and you did what you had to do. A lot of men don't do that. You stepped up to the plate with that, and that's still. Right. So for that makes you good in that regard.
Well, I appreciate you.
Of course. Mm-hmm. So what are some key lessons you have learned about yourself and about life in general now?
Key lessons that I've learned is, firstly, and I mean this with all respect, fellas, if you listen to this podcast, it is cheaper to keep her. That's the first thing. You know what I'm saying?
OGs say. They say that.
Baby, it's cheaper to keep her, I promise. Another thing I learned about me is that I would learn how to stand up for myself.
Mm,
There were many instances in situations that I did not stand up for myself, and I got caught up,
right.
or got manipulated, or whatever. Um, I've learned how to listen.
Mm,
I did a lot of other stuff, and I just plainly did not listen.
right.
Sometimes you have to take you have to check the pulse of the situation, and I didn't do that. I got myself in a stink a lot of times because I didn't simply check the pulse. Like if I just would have listened and been observing
Mhm.
what was going on, a lot of the stuff that I went through, I could have saw coming, and been
Right.
like, but I didn't do that because I was so intertwined with what I thought was supposed to be the thing. But if I just would have listened, be observant, always listen, um, always check the pulse. Man, God, if I could take it back, and
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I've learned.
So are you interested in getting married again? No.
That was coming. No,
No.
no.
What about dating? Like, are you completely turned off? Because it's changed, T. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
the same like
It is
10
not.
years ago. It's not.
You're absolutely correct. No, dating. I see dating. I see serious dating down the road. We're talking 1 or 2 years down the road.
Yes. Right.
Right now, I don't trust people.
Right.
I've and I thought I could. I thought I was like, oh man, I start dating this chick and that chick and doing whatever, and I'm like, no, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And then I got scammed a couple times on Facebook with some money, and I was like, man, I really don't trust people now. It's like,
Yeah, it's
you ain't
different.
gonna scam me, bro. You want the money? Just say that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Be
And then,
honest.
yeah, and then I'm struggling with some health issues too. So, you know, um, I need to get myself on track. If I don't, I'm not gonna be in much longer. But it's just, um, yeah. So dating, yeah, down the road. Marriage, hell no. And until I get my health issues back on track, I think I'll wait on that.
Well, that's commendable. At least you know there are things prior to
Yeah.
um, getting into a relationship that you need to take care of. Some people just, hey, yeah, sure, why not? And
Why
then
not?
upload all this stuff onto you while you're in a relationship. So that's good. I'm proud of
Yeah,
you for that.
yeah. I don't. I said I was not gonna be like I was in my 20s. And with the slam bam, thank you, ma'ams, and all that jazz. I don't have the energy. I just don't. And it's like I'm not
Right.
gonna sit here and try to. Oh, I suck anyway. You know what I mean?
You're hilarious. Okay, so this is the last question. It's a two-parted question.
The last
I'm kind
question.
of,
That was
I'm,
just-
yeah, I mean, listen, my episodes is usually like 7 minutes,
Oh my
but
God.
since I'm incorporating video, they have transpired to like 20, maybe 25, depending
Yeah,
on the
you gotta make it.
conversation.
You gotta make it a little bit longer. But what's your next question? Come on, let's do it.
So this is a two-parted question.
Yeah, for 20 minutes. Not just because they're making longer.
What advice would you give someone interested in getting married? Be nice. And what is some advice you would give someone who is going through the process of divorce?
Okay, so what advice I would give to someone who's getting married? My advice would be know who you are first. That's the most important.
Yeah.
Because what you can't do or what you can't afford to do is to try to be a chameleon and until yourself to what they want you to be.
Right.
Make sure like I said, make sure you're rooted in you. Make sure you love you. That's the most important thing, man.
Yeah.
Because if you don't love yourself and then you get into something and that person breaks you down, the first thing is, why doesn't he love me? Or why doesn't she love me? Well, you got to love yourself first in order for it to make sense. So love you first, and then try to make it work. The advice I would give someone who is getting a divorce is take it one day at a time. You will not, it's not going to come. It is the end will not come anytime soon.
Yeah.
You're going to take it one day at a time. You're going to have to ride out all the circumstances. And sometimes, in my case, you have to stand on whatever bullshit ended your relationship. You know, you got to stand on that. Sometimes we don't want to do it because it's easier not to stand versus it is. Right. But stand on it. Hold it. Sometimes, in my case, I had to do like the State Farm, the Allstate hands, like a good neighbor, and then hold that L right there in the basket. But don't be too hard on yourself too. I did a TikTok the other day, and it said, "It's okay if you take the blame. Don't take all of it."
Right.
Because it takes two to fight for something. If you wanted something, a relationship, marriage, whatever. If you want that, you got to fight for it. If you are the only one in the ring, let it go, and just accept it. Accept it that's what it is. And I was in that mode for a minute, and you still don't want to accept it. You know, if somebody telling you to accept it, it's still like not easy. You know, you hear them say that, you're like, "Hey, shut up! You tell me what to feel." But accept it, and one day at a time. It's the same way I would tell someone who's getting married, the same way I would tell somebody who's getting a divorce. Love yourself. Get back into loving yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, you lost yourself with that person.
Absolutely.
So you have to go back and find you. You got to find you, and then love yourself again. That's the cushion between you and heartbreak. That's the cushion between you and, man, I ain't gonna make it. You have to love yourself.
Yeah. And believe that you're worth it. You're worth love. You're worth, like you said, you're worth love. You're worth happiness. You're worth the opposite of what you currently experience. And don't settle just because of that title that you have. A lot of people just say, well, we're married, and they're beating on you, or they're, like you said, talking down to you or whatever, but you are worthy of love and to be valued and appreciated.
I'm 49 years old, and I still struggle with, am I good enough sometimes? I feel like I made too many boneheaded mistakes to turn back and be worth a crap to somebody. But I think I am. I think I'm a pretty good guy. I made some really bad choices, y'all. I see. Most men will get up here and say, I made some mistakes. Nope, they're not mistakes. Especially if you did it more than once. It's a bad choice. So I made some bad choices, and it cost me. Men have to learn. We're gonna have to learn how to stand on our bullshit. We don't want to. Just don't, because you're gonna look at me different. Okay. If you did the time, did the crime, do the time, bro. And that's kind of where I'm at.
So I want you to, since you are the guru, I'm gonna give you this time to really speak to the men, because it's Men's Health Month. And I want you to speak to the men. I want you to give them that sage advice from the OG, from the homie, from the guru. And then I want you to tell the people where they can find you. So I'll give you your moment.
Okay. All right, fellas, listen to me real good. All right. And I'm not just saying this because I'm behind the mic and I want to. No, I've lived this. Things that I'm going to tell you, I lived. Be honest. Be truthful. Stop playing this game like she can't play it better than you. Okay, understand this. There are a lot of guys walking around here thinking, oh, I got this and she ain't going nowhere and all that jazz. Listen, get out of that mentality, because the game is played the best by these women. And especially today's women, with society as it is, you cannot do what you think you can do, think you want, that you want to do, and they not catch it. They ain't got time for that, because they'll move right on and get with their work husband or whatever. Be truthful. Love your woman, men. Like for real. Like, when you hear that, like Christ loved the church type thing, yeah, believe that. That's love her like that. Because in today's society, you don't get second chances hardly, right? Be true to yourself. If you know you got issues, deal with those. Go to a therapist. Don't dump your mess on that woman. If you know you bad with money, fix that before you get with her, because she got other things she want to do. Fix that. Whatever issue you're working with, though, fellas, for real, get help. Don't bring any of that nonsense into another relationship, because the only thing you're doing is leaving a trail of broken hearts. Stop that. All right? So that's my advice to the men. Men, just be true. Stop lying. Stop fronting, as we would say back in the old day. Stop fronting. What you fronting for? Because whatever you got, she got. So what you fronting for? Just be real. Now, if you want to find the podcast, my podcast is under the Knucklehead Chronicles, the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast.podbean.com is where you can find it. I haven't done a live anything in a while, but those episodes normally drop. I do them on Thursdays normally. So if you want to catch the podcast, whatever podcast platform you use, Apple, Google Podcast is going away, Spotify, whatever, just make sure, go ahead and go to it, subscribe. That way, when I drop a new one, you'll be able to catch it. And that's what it is. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, T. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
I love it. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, I want you to remember you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. Until next time, you all, bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to leave a review. You can follow Shira on all major platforms and on YouTube at Shira Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.